from the traditional medicine and from the Huang Di from the Yellow Emperor's book, and also obviously from our practice. And again, I want to emphasize what I'm teaching today is not 100% correct, possibly. It only applies in my practice, and I think they are working for my practice. So in the future, if you think my teaching wasn't correct, you can make your own version, by your own exploration. Yeah. So I only just provide a guideline for you to really explore, to find your own ways. I think nowadays practice, especially in this acupuncture and herbal medicine way, even looking at Huang Di Neijing, looking at Shanghai Learn, every of them have different view and have different understanding, depending on their experience, depending on their own sort of level of understanding. Yeah, so it could be sort of different stages of understanding about body, different stages of the meridians, and so therefore I only just say what is true is what you feel under your fingers and not under your hands. So, but always believing your instinct. I believe in multi-day instinct. My first time I touched the body of the patient, I had a feeling that always that's the strongest one. That's actually the most sort of truthful one to reflect the body of the patient. Okay, so introduction. Differential diagnosis is the essential key of a good result from TCM treatment. So everyone knows, you all have your experience. Without a proper diagnosis, differentiation, you won't be able to have a good result. Yeah. However, the differentiation diagnosis also comes in different levels. Right, so I mentioned yesterday there was a case of the lady who had the arm pain. Do you remember that lady? Yeah. So the first impression of her tongue is typical yin deficiency. Although there's a tendency of qi deficiency because the tongue was puffy, but it didn't really sort of hit me that time. So I gave her the yin tonic, which worked very well for her to start with for the first at least 2 weeks. The pain reduced, her energy was better, bowel movements, everything was good. But later on, her secondary condition becomes more prominent, and then that started to come. So as I say, the diagnosis and differentiation would not be the same all the time, especially when you get the herbal medicine or acupuncture treatment interference into your body. They quite often can change. So, and then obviously this is also relies on your own your diagnosis method too. Again, you might be in need of a second palpation diagnosis. So that's another second case I can share with you. This lady, because in my own practice, my clinic, I don't see too many of pain cases. Most of them they're coming from different kind of ways. It's also friend recommendations. They all come for more or less internal troubles, and some of them quite complicated and difficult cases. So this case, she's actually a nurse. She's a pediatric nurse in Edinburgh Hospital in Cambridge, and she was recommended by one of her colleagues. Again, that was my patient, my previous patient. This lady came in with repetitive mouth sore, lip sores. Basically, that's herpes infections on her lips, and comes and goes for like 2 months. And she had 3 courses of antibiotics, which helped her to cool down for a while, maybe after antibiotics, maximum a week. When she first came to see me, her tongue is very typical, yin deficient, but qi deficient, very puffy tongue, with the greasy coating on the top, but some tender on the side. And through the palpation, her bladder 17 area is very, very sharp pain around that area, and then and all her symptoms all seems to be linking to the yin deficiency, because she said several times of that onset of the herpes was after she had a night shift. So I think that was to do with the immune deficiency, so the immune burning. Therefore, my first treatment was to give her herbal treatment of the yin tonic with shaoyan, the liver fire clearing, with some like antivirus herbal ingredient like balangan. From that treatment, the herpes disappeared very quickly. So I normally give people like 2 weeks of powder. So she had 2 weeks powder. So almost 2 weeks she felt better. But by the end of 2 weeks, another herpes started again. And so it didn't seem to be very successful to control the recurrence of the herpes. So that brought me to a second palpation. And then in the end I found out that her body's completely changed. That time, her spleen meridian is very empty, very hollow. So now I think, okay, this time it's the spleen troubles. In the end, I changed the formula to her. And then that's the time I was using 蟹黄散 plus the 半夏泻心汤. In that case, it means her condition starts from yin deficient heat with liver fire, drop to the other extreme, to yin deficiency. So that could be a causing point because her body, for the first diagnosis, I was more working on the cooling, but it might be because I mislook on the spleen qi side. So in the end, her spleen qi deficiency start to show up more, so floating more to the surface. So through that, after we tonify the spleen, her herpes recover even quicker, but still repeat again. So the third visit, I realized there has to be still a good combination of qi tonic, damp reducing, plus yin deficiency tonic. So from that on, her herpes stopped developing and her healing starts to get better. And now it's 3 months on, she doesn't have any problem now. She's so happy. So again, from the process of this whole treatment, you can see it clearly. Even me, as a doctor, even like with experienced doctors, you can still come to different stages of patient. Patient body responds to the herbs very well, and you do need to follow up the new discovery, not really always stick to the same problems. Quite often I will, because if the patient condition doesn't change much after 2 weeks of medication, and normally I will always kind of review the case, do more diagnosis of our patients to find out what's been mislooked or overlooked. Okay, right. So the traditional Chinese medicine emphasizes on the importance of the 4 diagnosis methods, namely the inspection, listening and smelling, questioning, and palpation. In achieving a successful differential diagnosis of TCM, however, over hundreds of years, not like the palpation of the poles, really, the meridian palpation has missed so much attention but actually in the Liuzhong, the spiritual ethics book, because the Liuzhong is the major book for acupuncture. Liuzhong has talked quite a lot about palpations, in different ways. So in that, post diagnosis was far too, especially in the later time of the history, was far more kind of focused on by the doctors. Even nowadays, in China, especially like in Canton, I used to study and practice in Guangdong, and most of the people, they judge the doctor's level by just sticking their hand out to say, take my pulse and tell me what's wrong with me. So I do have, in my early time of the practice, because I speak Cantonese, so I have quite a lot of Cantonese or Hong Kong people coming to my clinic, because the clinic is just newly open. They want to test me first. So they're always coming silently, sticking their hand out, just ask you to take the pulse. So I think my pulse readings start to gather the experience from that kind of time. That's about 14 years ago. So, you know, this is people, even the normal people, they think, oh, pulse reading is the most important one. It's most powerful to find out what's wrong with the people. But, however, even nowadays, not many doctors can openly talk about the real secret of pulse. You know, how much they can find from the pulse. Actually, is that guessing work, or is that really they can see clearly? You know, not many doctors can really tell exactly. So you say, can you tell me 100% you're sure? There's nobody can tell you, say, we are sure about this. Yeah. So that's why later on in my life, although pulse reading can tell you quite a lot, but to me, it is still like you are touching something through a package of covers. So you still don't know what exactly inside. So you need to find something better or more straightforward to help you. Yeah, pulse is too small. There's that here. You know, the body is bigger, so meridian is bigger. Meridian will show us a lot more information about it. In the Binghu Maijue, selecting reading of Binghu Maijue, I put in on the lecture note. Even Dr. Liuzhong also emphasizes. He said the people, Liuzhong lives in the Ming Dynasty, but he already suggests that people are paying far too much attention to the pulse reading. He said pulse reading is Wang Yun Wen Qie. Qie is the palpation, pulse, meridian or pulse, is the last method of diagnosis. So Qie Zhen, the Qie man, palpating the pulse, should not be the most important one. Still you need to get all the information. So what we're learning from this advanced diagnosis is to gather as much as possible information, and then to get as much as possible precise diagnosis of the body. So you should not overemphasize on something, you know, and leave the other stuff. Anything put into the package of your observation is important, is really important. So they could either guide you for current treatment, but also can guide you for the future treatment. Because as I mentioned earlier, the herpes patient, or what I discovered in the first place already there, but because the reaction from the body shows more on the heat, more on the excess, so I'm putting on attention on that. But the problem is the spleen qi deficiency wasn't looked after very well, so that's why she gets more empty symptoms later. Good job we caught the right time, so we move on to another direction to really kind of reverse the decline of the body. Okay. So the meridian palpation has been hidden under the shadow for too long. So now it's the good time for us to discover it and find more from the meridians. So this lecture is trying to help everyone rediscover the role of meridian palpation, the practical procedure and strategy of meridian palpation diagnosis, the integration of conventional pulse, tongue reading with meridian palpation in a proper differential diagnosis. Finally, we'll explore some case studies to further comprehend the meridian palpation. Object of this lecture, to understand and comprehend the practice and strategy of meridian palpation. By the end of the lecture, to be able to integrate conventional pulse and tongue reading with meridian palpation in order to achieve a more sophisticated differentiation. This case actually we mentioned yesterday, that's the pulse, the arm pain lady. The photo here is not her true photo. It's because I didn't really take the first time photo of her tongue, so it's difficult. This is the sort of close tongue that I found on her. So I found on the internet a very similar kind of tongue look from her. So this is a 56-year-old person. Main complaint is pulling and sharp pain of right elbow muscles, feeling hot at night, early waking at 5 a.m., stiff joints until about 1 hour of exercise after she gets up. And also she has constipation, energy overall is good, 7 out of 10. She doesn't have much trouble with the energy. The pulse, the thin, wiry on both sides. The chance is thin, slim, purple-red, with little coating and tiny cracks.